Welcome back. This is James Dewar, host of the San Antonio Entertainment Show. We have an amazing guest, and it's a very unique business as a nonprofit. And we'll talk about that in a second, but there's only 3 of these in the nation, so you need to pay attention on this. We have David Malley with the Cherrity Bar. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
So tell us what a Cherrity Bar. I mean, your name of your bar is Cherrity Bar because it's on Cherry Street.
Correct.
By the Alamo Dome. But you have a unique business model. Tell us about that.
We modeled ourselves after the Okra Charity Saloon in Houston, Texas, and the Portland Ale House, I believe, in Portland, Oregon. Those are the only 2 that were doing this before the Cherrity Bar. And basically, every month we have 3 different nonprofits that are in a competition for first, second, and third place. So when the bar is making a profit, let's say it makes $1,000, we give 10% off the top to the Tourette Association of America because my son Connor has Tourette syndrome.
Okay.
And the remaining 90% is split up 60, 30, 10%. So we periodically do a count of the tokens that you receive, and then we put the word out on social media so that people know if they're winning or losing, because the idea is to mobilize your nonprofit force to engage the community to come out and support you so that you can get the lion's share of the profits.
Okay. And that's how I became aware of Cherrity Bar, is through the Big Bend Conservancy, and that was one of the 3 charities you chose for that month to represent. So people go and they support they go and they have a drink, and then they get tokens, and they put the tokens in whatever charity they like the best.
Exactly. It's 1 token for every drink that you purchase and 1 token for every $10 in food. So whether you want to come in and have alcohol or not, we're called the Cherrity Bar because it sounds cooler than saying the charity restaurant, you know. And then,
right.
But we are a food service establishment with a full kitchen, putting out wonderful food, and we have the Cherrity Bar, and we just operate as 1 unit.
Okay. So how did you get this idea about giving back to the community through having sponsoring a bar and doing a development?
I've always been a foodie. I've always wanted to be part of restaurants, but I've never really thought about owning a bar. And if you're in the food service industry, that's really where you make your money.
Okay.
And so when I came across these 3 pieces of property close to the Alamo Dome, I knew that was my chance to do something. And so for about 9 years, I kept working on it as we had rental house income come in. I just kept pouring it into there. And then I'd reached the point where I thought that we were successful enough, and I still want to, I'm a capitalist, I want to make money,
right.
But I like to create businesses more, I think. And so this was just a way to create one more business that wasn't just about making money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been to the Okra Bar in downtown Houston. So that's where we kind of became aware of it. And I think that's where we started looking at, opportunities to raise money for Big Bend. And then that's where you all came about. So how can people tell us exactly where you are so people can go and they could support the charities and have fun and enjoy life?
We're at the northeast corner of the Alamo Dome parking lot. The physical address is 302 Montana.
Okay, 302 Montana.
And that's right where Market Street comes underneath the 281 by the Alamo Dome and Sunset Station. When you pop up, it becomes Montana Street, and we're at the corner of Cherry and Montana Street.
And for the nonprofits out there, how can they be chosen to be one of the 3 nonprofits for the month?
It's very easy. Okay. Any nonprofit, even if you're not San Antonio based, can apply. As we discuss this more, you'll see that it leans more toward local nonprofits. But you go to our website, we have an application that you fill out. We ask you how you're going to promote events at the Cherrity Bar, because we need the nonprofits to be big enough to bring in people to help build sales.
Right.
And so sometimes they host mixers like y'all did. Sometimes it's the board of directors coming in. Meals on Wheels had a paella cook-off with 3 of the local chefs, and Chris, who is the chef at the Maverick, the chef owner, he won first place, and so his picture, if I understand right, is on the Meals on Wheels vehicle for like the next 5 years.
Oh, there you go.
So everybody comes up with fun stuff like that, but we need programming in there because we treat ourselves more as a venue now. I think as you've been there, we can hold 750 people.
Right. And parking's great over there. You have another parking spot lot across the street. So, and you have a little parking spot next to it. So you have, whenever I've been there, it's been good parking, easy to get to.
Definitely. The city was going to let me open up with no parking, but I kept thinking about my friends that work in King William and how everybody would just be angry at us if there was no parking.
Okay.
So we worked out a deal with the Alamo Dome parking lot so you can park there when there's not an event.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's a 5-year deal. And I included 3 other addresses so that as we expand into other restaurants on Montana, it's all covered.
Okay.
Because eventually the parking lot that across from Cherrity Bar is probably going to become 2 more restaurants. And then we have parking lots 1 block up.
Wow.
So you can park on either end now and come right into what I'm going to call the Montana Street Dining District.
Yeah, so you're really driving the economic development for that area. And some of that area can be depressed and lower social economic.
Definitely.
And so that's really helping that area and providing employment. I remember talking to a young lady who was, I believe she worked with you all, and she lived right in that area. You just walk to work.
Oh yeah, there's several people, and that's what I always envisioned was for people in the neighborhood to walk to work, and the people that come by and blow the lot out for leaves and stuff, they live 1 block away. So I really engaged the community because we are being a positive economic impact in the area, and I think that I am improving the look and the value, and I think now people have a neighborhood bar, but we own a lot of properties around there, and so it helps the value of those properties, and it leads to the talk of gentrification. So there's a lot of people that are anti-Cherrity Bar, they come by and support us, but I hear all the time, but you're making the taxes go up. Yeah. And so there's always a drawback. I guess if there's a negative, that's a negative. But I think
you're providing employment. You have plans for future deployment. And I'm a little distracted because look at this food here. So in addition to having great drinks there, and people who go there to have the drinks, support the charities, you also have food there. And I've been there with my wife several times. It's great food. So tell us a little bit about what you brought today.
We started out as just a pop-up ramen enterprise in the back, and the construction kept getting delayed. So we had Gorilla Gourmet helping us for a while. We finally got the kitchen open in September, and we evolved from maybe 5 or 6 appetizers and 4 ramens to where I think we have about 24 or 25 appetizer choices, plus 5 different ramen dishes, 4 different rice dishes, and you can even get a whole mackerel.
Yeah.
Saba, I believe is the way you say it.
There you go. And it's definitely a full restaurant.
Restaurant.
You go there for dinner, you date night, take the family. So talk about family. Is it a family place?
No, we are family friendly and pet friendly. We want everybody to come by there. And so we have a arcade room that has a Sega system, and then Nintendo's about to be in there, and so it's free. So the kids can come in there and play that. We have a Gaga ball pit, which I really don't think many people know what it is, so I'm converting it.
I have no idea what that is.
It's supposed to be dodgeball from the waist down, but it's going to become a regular playground.
Okay.
We have a toddler area with about 6 pieces, and then we have ping pong, we have cornhole, we have shuffleboard, and we have a sensory room for kids on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know what a sensory room is. Do you?
I've peeked in there, but tell me about it.
So part of the inspiration behind all this was my son Connor, and he doesn't like a lot of attention on that, but that's why the Trade Association gets their 10%. But we would go out to eat, and if it was too noisy or whatever else, it would affect him, and we would have to just pack up and leave.
Okay.
So we were upset. He was upset because he didn't want to ruin the fun, but he couldn't articulate why. So a sensory room is so that if it gets too noisy or overstimulating for kids on the autism spectrum, they can go into our converted shipping container, and there's different sensory things to touch and feel and play with, and then you calm down, and you can come back out, and then the family doesn't leave, and everybody felt like it was a place they were comfortable in.
Okay, that's great. And it's great what you've done. Great what you've done for your son and for that charity for your son, 10%. And then how does the breakdown work again for the other charities?
10% to the Trade Association, and the remaining 90% is split 60% to first place, 30% to second, and 10% to third.
And how can they contact you if there is a nonprofit out there in the San Antonio area or any area, but I know you like to support local nonprofits. How do they contact you again?
So they go through the website, cherritybar.com. They fill out an application.
Spell that for me, please.
It's Cherrity,
Okay.
BAR, and that's because we're at Cherry Street. So our charities are not CHARITIS, they are CHERR. So it's a play on words, but it's fun.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to make sure that the public knew about that. It's charity, like a cherry, and so they can just go to your website, cherritybar.com.
And then they fill out the application. It gets submitted, and it's emailed to us. And SA 2020 is crucial in helping us organize the nonprofits because it would be a full-time job. So they have been helping us from the beginning. And we meet every quarter with what we call the Fringe of the Cherrity Bar. It's not a board. It's very informal. It's 20 people that have diverse backgrounds because I didn't want it to all be about special needs or all be about chef-driven causes. And we discuss it, and everybody goes home, and they have a week to vote on SurveyMonkey anonymously.
Okay. And I know and talk about your hours. What are the hours of the bar? And the bar and the restaurant.
Yeah, Tuesday through Friday we are 11, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday it's 11 till 10 p.m.
Okay.
And then on Friday it's 11 till midnight, and Saturday it's 3 until midnight.
Okay.
And eventually we'll add in Sundays, but we don't have the proper staff and everything for that yet. But eventually we'll have Sundays, but we'll always be closed on Mondays.
Yeah, well, guess which day I went the other day? I went on a Sunday.
Yeah, I've heard a few things, and there's been some stuff at the Alamo Dome where I wish we were open on Sundays, but it's hard to find help in San Antonio, and we have a really good staff that they weren't making any money in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We were losing a lot of money for the first 7-8 months, and they didn't have the sales, but they stuck in there, like Janine, our bartender, because they just loved the place.
Yeah.
And then now they have nights that I think a lot of other staff at other restaurants throughout the city are envious of. So now we have a waiting list of people that want to come work for us.
Oh, do you?
Not just because of the money, but because of the whole feel-good aspect of it. Because people have a bad day, and you go to work at Cherrity Bar, and you have a good day.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a great place to go to unwind, to enjoy life. And while you're enjoying life, and that's why we did this program. See, we do the James Dewar Show, the 7 Steps of Financial Success at 10 a.m. on Saturdays. And our step 7 is enjoying life. And we didn't have enough time on that show to really talk about enjoying life. So that's why we have the entertainment show at 5 p.m. on 9:30 a.m.
Got you.
So I'm so glad you're here, because it's so representative of what we're trying to do. Let people know what there is to enjoy life in San Antonio. Not only can they know that they can go to the place your place is great. Your staff is wonderful. Your head bartender, she's the best, and my wife just loves her. And but you're giving back to the community, and I know that's your main interest, and I really appreciate that, David. Is David Malley with Cherrity Bar, and let's have you on again soon.
Thank you.